Welcome to the Bang the Drum podcast, the good, the bad, the ugly edition. That's right. Woo! So today, we're going to recap the Washington Commanders-Skins game. A lot to talk about. Bengals updates. We still got drama, Stevie Boy, of course. We're going to go around the league. I'm kind of impressed with Cam Ward, even though I dogged him pre-draft. Still a lot to say. Our first segment of the year, which is true gambling, college football. They're calling it week 0. We got 3 good games to talk about. Julian Sayin is a starter at the Ohio State University. I skipped Hard Knocks because I've been watching the Dallas Cowboys on Netflix. Actually, a really good show. And we'll wrap it up from there, Stevie Boy. How you been, buddy?
Doing real good. How you been?
I'm doing all right. It's, school's back. Got these damn hover flies. I don't know if anybody else in Ohio has experienced it.
I told you I didn't have them.
There's like 50. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. I guarantee I've killed 100. Well, they're harmless. They're not harmless when they're on you all the time. So they get on you and lick you, right? So I get like irritated skin. Yeah, it's just a weird thing. I hate it.
Can't believe you don't like it.
Yeah, hey-o. Hey-o. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Transitioning from that was hard. I had nothing. We're going to talk about the Commanders. I'll give you some thoughts here, then we'll do line by line here. I thought, there's some people uneven on Burrow. He's a perfectionist, but I thought both games he threw the ball very well. Maybe it wasn't as much zip or whatever, but, primarily in this game, he had backups in there, still drove him down the field. They made some nice plays. It was good to see, rookie running back in there a little bit. O-line kind of struggled. We'll talk about that together with that. The O-line, Patrick can't play in this league. We said it. It's not hindsight. You and I talked about it the other night. How in the hell, I've said this many times, and they're not the only team I've said this about. Can I watch college games and know more than they do? How in the hell, I'm brilliant, I get it, but how in the hell, and I'm humble too, how in the hell can I say this guy can't play here and they believe it? I think sometimes it's that group think thing where they all just think the same thing and pat each other on the back. There's nobody in there kicking the ass. There's no ass kickers in there. They might be on defense now. But it's just like everybody agree, kumbaya. You should be going for a championship, and you're playing a guy that shouldn't be on your team probably. I don't think he's any better than Volson, to be honest with you. Your thoughts on Burrow and the crew and the O-line early, my friend?
I don't think his pocket presence is what it's going to be week 3, 4, 5, 6. That's definitely he's got to be smarter about that stuff regardless of what his presence is anyway. Once he made the little curlicue, just go down. Okay, so you lost 10 yards instead of 17, whatever. But, he's got to do better than that. He still made some – that throw to Charlie was unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely unreal.
Pittsburgh fans are right. They're shooting at us. Take cover.
So, O-line, I'm probably a little bit higher on Patrick than you are. I went back and watched all of his snaps. He did have 2 really bad snaps. One of them, Mims helped him with that snap. Some of the other ones were just okay. Now, do I think he's a caliber starter? No, I don't. Yeah. But I do think he would be a reliable 3-position, both guards, a center, backup, someone that you could throw in there in a pinch, half a game, quarter, whatever, maybe even a game you wouldn't like it, but if you had to do it, you got to do it. You're paying him like he is, really, is what you're doing. I still think he's a slight upgrade from Volson, which Volson's injured right now, so that's a moot point. So
Fairchild looked good.
Fairchild, and again, it's early, I get it, but it looks like they may have struck gold with him. Let's hope that's the case. Mims looked good. Orlando had a few not so good reps, but you're going to get that. It's still early. Still got some conditioning issues. That first drive was it 9-10 plays? I think. Yeah. So yeah, not awful offensively. I thought I mean, Burrow does what Burrow does. So
2 drives.
Yoshi looked good. I mean, we'll get into another guy here later.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm getting his jersey. Let's take a break right there. Let's talk about what beer you're drinking. Oh, I got a comment first. I'm not going to say who.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody messaged me after they heard our podcast and said, yeah, I understand why Steve wouldn't like that beer. Instead, he likes the full flavor of High Life. That's a zing, boy. You got any retorts on that?
I love High Life. It's good beer. I multiple people drink High Life with me.
Who?
My whole band.
I'm not going to comment. All right, go ahead.
So what's the chances of all of us loving High Life in the same band? That's pretty slim.
It is slim.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many people that like it, so it's very slim.
It's very slim.
All right, pick your beer up.
So Corona Light, first time I ever had it. Corona, on the other hand, I've tried a lot. Don't really care for it. This actually ain't bad. I will give it a 2.75 out of 5.
So some of you out there are like, why are they doing Corona Light? It's called Steve's never tried anything. So I'm trying to just bring out shit. I mean, it's you get outside of High Life and Ultra, you pretty much Steve hasn't tried it. So this is a guy that quite
And Budweiser and Bud Light.
quite
And Coors
frankly
Light
drinks
and-
too much beer. So it's
and
odd.
Miller Lite and-
It's odd. So I like it. I give it 4. I drink it all the time. It's better than lime. It's better on a beach. It's better in Mexico. Cerveza, please. Cerveza. So with that said, I'm smoking a vintage, aged 12 years Perdomo. Excellent cigar, pricey cigar. So got a new batch of cigars I haven't opened yet too. So good stuff. All right, back to the Bengals. Defensive first string struggles. It looked awful. And I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to back off of it, and I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I am. We talked about it, and, we kind of both made excuses looking back. I think we did, because we like the guy, Logan Wilson. I think he's done. Injuries or whatever. Done not as in retired, but he's not going to be the same player. And it sucks and kind of proves their point about those other contracts, that they talk about where they want to extend guys, because that's what they see. They're playing the numbers game, right? Like, we've talked a few times about these professional gambling sites that you and I follow every once in a while. I did for a good bit and will again when they get to NFL. They don't let emotions into it. They don't let a person get into it. Like the NBA playoffs, when 2 heavily favored teams were in it, they don't say, oh, they'll come back. They don't look at that. They say, historically, these teams aren't going to come back. Don't take those bets. And they were dead on, right? And I think, Logan's really not that age, but, I liked Pratt a lot. I know he was done, and I kind of think Logan's done. So I don't know what they'll do. It's a tough situation. Him and the rookie night got blocked both by one tight end because Logan didn't get around, right? He still sees it, I think, kind of like Pratt, but I don't think the explosive. I do think it's the injuries. I just think it's taking a toll on him. I don't think he's going to be the same player anymore, sadly. I really don't. Hope I'm wrong. But, the rookie from Clemson maybe should be getting there. Mitchell Tinsley, hello! My gosh. Like, I knew the kid because he played at Penn State, right? And he played at Western Kentucky and had a really good year there. But coming out in the draft, the knock on him was, lack of speed. And, probably true, I think. But that body control, that's rare. To go up 2 different catches, the one-handed, whatever, I don't care about that one. But the touchdown where he comes back across, and then the touchdown in the back of the end zone, that's big time, man. This kid's going to make the team. I thought the tight ends continued to impress. And finally, I'm just going to say this. It's tough because, people are texting me, and some of them are just jabbing at me a little bit to have fun. But, they're not going to win. Told you the defense is all. I was like, it's preseason. And you're looking back at, if their defense was good last year, I don't think you'd read too much in it. It wasn't. So I think people are overreacting, right? And I get it. It looks bad, but they're not blitzing. They're not game planning. And his whole thing is blitzing and game planning, Goldie, I'm saying. So, Shamar looks good. I think he's going to be a really nice player for him. Those holes on the run game are concerning. I don't care if you're blitzing or not, right? Because if you have to blitz to stop, then you're giving up a lot in the pass game. Jordan Battle, who we both kind of like, that's ridiculous. Hit the fucking quarterback. That was awful. That's almost cut worthy, right? Jimmy Johnson. I'm going to talk about Jimmy Johnson after a while. That might be see you time. That's what you got. You're out of here, right? I don't think I don't want that obviously, but that part of it, it didn't look good. Oh, they're shooting me. It's Jordan Battle's family. I just think that it's football, man. Preseason or not, go out and fucking hit somebody. If not, what's the point of being out there, right? That's the whole point of playing right now. So. Yeah, the defense looked really bad. I mean, you could say they settled down when all the backups are in there. That really doesn't matter. The starters, but there's a lot of guys out in the secondary. But it wasn't. That's not the problem. It's the run. The run defense looked bad. Your thoughts on all that, my friend?
Yeah, I think when we get caught up in some of these training camp practices on, the defense had a good day or the defense won the day, or what it comes down to is the aggression, right? Like, those holes aren't going to be filled up. Those holes aren't going to be filled in with safeties running downhill ready to hit you in the mouth. That's not going to happen in training camp practices.
Nope.
So now you're coming into this situation where you've been doing this for weeks. Some of these guys didn't get a ton of snaps last week. They come in this week, to be honest, they didn't get much this week. They're not going to get much, this coming week. Could be probably because it's going to be second, third string.
Yep.
Then you got a week, and then it's like, so the expectations for this defense can't be any more than what we've seen. Mm-hmm. I can't see how we can go into it saying that they're going to be better, for sure. But I think secondary-wise, I think they'll be okay. But what will it matter if their team can just run down their throat?
You think what the Browns are going to do anyway, and especially now, they're just going to come in, run, and then play action off of it. Flacco, try to get in 3rd and 3, little short pass. I mean, every team's going to do it on now, right?
Yeah.
They would have anyway, probably.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And as far as Wilson goes, I didn't watch him enough the other night. I know the play you're talking about. They freaking stumbled in each other. They look like 2 5th graders out there playing football together. I mean, I don't. It wasn't good. There wasn't nothing good about none of it. I mean, the play. Shamar looked pretty good, so his play was still there. You seen the explosiveness. But he didn't quite show that what he done last week. But then again, he was going against some of the ones and then the twos. He played a lot. Mm-hmm. So defensively, again, I honestly, you hope that this scheme will change some things, that Golden will ramp up as far as some blitzes and a bunch of different stunts, and kind of depending on where they'll put Dax. If he plays a lot of slot, he may blitz a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
like Hilton used to, right?
Right. So maybe there, or maybe when they're in a base 4-3, he'll play outside, and when they go to nickel or dime, he'll play inside. Mm-hmm. One way or the other. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that's the way they go, because I think they're good enough outside to where they can compete with most receivers. I mean,
especially those first 2 weeks, right?
Right. So, and then maybe get their feet wet, get some confidence. See what because we've seen this too. These teams will come into it. Al thinks he knows what he has, but he only knows what he's had from training camp.
Yeah.
Once he may not know until week 4, 5, or 6, where he sees, okay, maybe this guy here. And then he starts doing some tweaking.
Yeah. And
then before you know, it's like, that works there.
Yep.
But which hurts that fast start aspect of what
absolutely.
We're looking for.
New coach, and Ivy continues to struggle. That's a guy that was getting a lot of fanfare in camp. Like we said, that's why I told the guys ribbing on me a little bit. I get it. Like, the thing is, like, I'll mark it out every year. Teams that go 3-0 now, used to be 4-0 or 3-1 then, look really good in preseason, then the games start, and it's totally different. Mm-hmm. So it could be that way, this defense. He may be purposely not showing anything at all. I'm sure he is.
Oh, I was watching. He didn't do nothing.
No, it's just bland as bland could be.
I mean,
I'm okay with that.
Didn't do nothing.
But the problem is, you still got to be able to shed blocks. You still got to be able to do.
We got to win one-on-ones. That's basically what you're being asked to do.
They haven't really done that at all. At all. D-line, outside Shamar. So, yeah, deep breaths. We'll see. We're not going to be able to tell anything on Saturday against the Colts. Thought about going, but we are not going because I don't think anybody's going to play really. But cut day there. We'll talk about it. We're not going to get into the roster as much. We can talk about it a little bit if you want, Steve Boy. Some of those back end stuff. But we're going to talk about the Bengals update as a whole. A lot to talk about still, which is
maybe next week on that. Let's let week 3 playing out.
See what happens. So who made it, who didn't, but a lot of drama still, a lot to talk about, unfortunately. So my thing is, and I'm sure I'm the minority anymore because everybody kind of goes to the flow, but that hold in bullshit is bullshit. So I mean, the media all jumped on it before the game that night, and I'm sure it's his agent leaked it. He's in trade talks, he's in this, but I would think. There's no way he's in trade talks. They're actually having legitimate trade talks, and he's traveling with the team.
Right.
And I don't care what they say, and they can disagree with me till I don't give a damn. It's a bad look letting him travel at all. That's the problem with our society, and that's definitely the problem with the NFL right now. You don't want to – can you imagine going into your job? I'm just going to go in and sit at the desk, prop my feet up, and I'm not fucking working, and you're going to pay me.
Yeah.
He's under fucking contract.
Yeah.
I'd ship his ass out. Like I said the same about Jamar. You don't want to practice, get the fuck out of here. That's how you build a culture. Zach's all about culture, but his culture is more funsy. It's all pat each other. I know it's not apples to apples now, and maybe Peyton would let him do it nowadays, because they all kind of go, but it wasn't that long ago. There's no way coaches will let that bullshit go, right? Like, just stay the fuck home then, McLaurin's not there. Parsons is not, right? That's how I see it. It's not a knock on Trey, but he says all this stuff and does something different. I mean, I don't know. You saw the video, I'm sure, of him and Duke talking. I think that's the Bengals' way, though. It's all be friendly and kind. That's all. And I'd rather be the opposite. Let's go win a fucking championship. Let's have a little edge to us, right, from top to bottom. And I don't think they just don't have it. And I don't think they're going to either. And we'll talk about that more. But does that whole in bother you like it does me, or do you care?
No, it bothers me. But I truly believe Trey's doing it for the right reason. I think he loves his teammates, or he wouldn't be there. If he didn't like the organization, he was totally pissed. He would just be like, "Well, I'm gonna stay home. I'll do my work here. If they pay me, I'll go in. If not, I'll get fined until I don't want to be fined no more. Then I'll go in and play football, because that's what it's all going to come down to anyway. He's going to play.
He's saying he's going to hold out the bullshit.
He's not hold. He's going to lose. So I mean, so what's the point then? I mean, if you're going to lose $16.5 million, then why are you pushing for $16.5 million more dollars?
Yeah,
because you're going to. It's dumb. It's ridiculous.
The Bengals,
and nobody ever says that.
They're not wrong. That's the part nobody's talking about. I'm not taking up for him because I think it's championship window time here. But the bottom line is, if they don't want to pay him $1 more, he won the contract early. He got it. If they don't want to pay him $1 more and say you play for us this year, they're not in the wrong, man.
And he's going to back down. He's going to get guarantees in year 2, but I bet he don't get none in year 3.
I don't think I'd give it to him anyway.
I don't think I would either. No. Well, no, I won't. I wouldn't give it to him in year 3. I just wouldn't. There's too much at stake. The only reason that you may say you would is because you know that the salary cap's going to keep going up, which is ridiculous, right? Yeah. I don't know where they're going to how we're going to keep doing this.
At some point, it's got to level.
Something's got to happen, but. I mean, it's going to go up. So then in 3 years, I talked about it a few episodes ago, this is probably going to be a pretty good deal at $32 to $36 million.
Just like it would have been with Jamar and T. And they could have signed Bates.
Right.
They could have signed all these guys and let him go, and they'd been discounts, right?
So let's say this year, like 13, 14 sacks. Next year, he's around 10 or 12. The year after that, he's around 8 or 10. Well, 8 or 10 sacks might be what, that guaranteed money and his yearly annual value is worth.
It's different with him than the people we just mentioned because he's not young. So Bates, that was just a bonehead mistake at the time, right? They knew the cap was going up better than you and I did. They know how the TV contracts look behind the scenes. Could have signed him, kept him. Could have done T early. Could have done Chase early. Those all make sense.
It's all about how they value certain positions.
Yeah.
Instead of player.
Yeah, and that position's really important, right? The communication of free safety. But I think with Trey, if he's 26, it's a no-brainer, right? You sign, you do whatever you have to get him there. But at his age, I don't know that it is. But I mean, it's you say all that, but we both agree you got to have him on this year's team, right? And you will. But I hope they don't fool around. Which I've had two different views on this. One will say, well, he takes care of himself, it won't matter, which I disagree with. And the other says, watch him come in late. He hasn't practiced and he'll get hurt week 1. If I had to bet on the two, it'd be the hurt.
It could be the hurt.
And traditionally that's what has happened, right?
Everybody talks about football conditioning too. It's different.
You can go around, when we saw Shamar, right? Elite athlete. I get it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take him that long to adjust because he is a supreme athlete. But Dalton Risner came by, a guard that we liked. The one Scherf retired, so it kind of made you think about. So Risner came in. Everybody spoke glowingly about the visit, but he walked. What do you think?
It may work out the same way Fant did, just for the fact that he probably wants to start. I think he's going to Seattle. I think that offensive line in Seattle and Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh might be able to use him on the starting line, but from what I hear from Seattle, their lines look really good. So it may come down to where, hey, I'm on block for Joe Burrow. I got a good chance to play here. Who knows what they told him? You can come in and compete. You're going to come in and
come in and compete. To me, would be like, all right.
Oh yeah.
Look who I'm competing with.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all relative, right?
Yeah.
Who am I competing with? Compared to going to Seattle and competing. Seattle may pay a little bit more money, but if you've already got your starting 5 set going into week 3 of preseason, then are you going to pay him $4, $5, $6 million to set the bench? Probably not. So it may end up the same way. Fant leave town, come back. But if I was the Bengals, I wouldn't have let him left.
I agree with you.
Not that he's a damn fucking world beater anyway, but it all comes down to what do we have and what all is relative to each other, because he is not. And again,
he was good.
He was good, but they couldn't wait to get him out of Minnesota. Yeah. I mean, they pretty much cut that whole interior offensive line. So, but even with that being said, he's definitely an upgrade. If you had Lucas coming off the bench, Cordell comes back, you got some different things, in the works as far as the bench. I mean, because cut down day, right?
Monday, right?
I mean, Rivers actually, his 7 snaps there tonight actually looked pretty daggone
good. Yeah.
I want to say something about that too, since I'm on a little bit of a freaking rant.
You're getting fired up. I like it.
So, how bad is your management that you put him out right away? You don't even try him a guard, knowing what you have behind your 2 left and right guards in Volson. You don't even put him out. He didn't even practice at all. Played left tackle, and that was it. Left tackle.
Yeah.
Behind Orlando Brown Jr. Then you put him at guard. He comes. I guarantee small size, sample size. But when it comes down to it, the guy's strong. He holds his anchor. He's just not very good laterally, right?
Yeah, yep.
That's where he was getting beat. It's where he got beat at practice, where he was getting beat in his preseason game. But how do you not at least try him and put him a guard to see at least what you have? Now, all of a sudden, it's almost like out of necessity you're doing it, and it's like you should have been freaking doing it a month ago.
You said it before, and I
don't get it.
I agree. I think they're just stubborn. I don't know. They just believe in themselves more than anybody else believes.
I think they drafted him as a tackle.
And that's what they
said.
They're not like, we're going to talk about that in a second. That's good. I'll talk about it now because it's part of the subject line. And, I'll get like, so Troy Aikman the other night, right? So he was talking about Daniels for Washington, right? So I'm going to couple all this together. I meant to mention it earlier. And for a rookie quarterback, not turning the ball over, Troy's living in the past. And I get it. I live in the past the other way, though. He lives in the past like, man, look how good this guy is. He's not turning the ball. Well, how many picks do you think Caleb threw?
Right.
About the same. How many did Drake May? A little more, but less game. But all about the same. You know why? It's a different game.
Mm-hmm.
None of them throw picks. I mean, you got to be really bad, even as a rookie. He had 9 or 10 picks. Caleb Williams had the same number of picks.
Ask Peyton how many he threw his rookie.
Yeah, that was different. And, right, he threw 28, I think, right?
Yeah.
26 or 28, I don't know offhand. So, and, Jaden Daniel, they're all flipping over him. 209 yards passing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he wasn't magnificent. He had 2 or 3 great games.
Yeah, and his rating's good, but he just doesn't throw that much. And that's why they all throw these superlatives at these guys. They really can't throw the ball that well. They'll throw a deep one here because they run around, somebody's open. He's not a whole lot different than the guys we've talked about on this show, right? So Aikman kind of lives in the past a little bit. And I do in a way, but he said something interesting. I do in a way in terms of thinking about coaching. Because Jimmy Johnson, I'm watching the Netflix thing we'll talk about, and I followed him. He's the guy that I didn't like at the time. Liked him later because I communicated with him a good bit about picks, and then I liked him on Fox NFL Sunday, right? But that drive to win, the guy's a fucking maniac as a coach. Mm-hmm. He gets the job and he divorces his wife because he won't have time for her. I mean, you don't want to be that way. But if you're hiring a coach, that's what you want, dude.
Yeah.
And Zach's not going to be that, and more power to him in some ways. But some of the shit that we saw the other night, he would fucking cut players left and right.
Mm-hmm.
He cut a guy for fumbling during the game when Emmett was out. Mm-hmm. Cut him. The team hated. They pissed at him. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he wanted. Bob Knight wanted the team pissed at him. Parcells wanted the team. Belichick wanted the team pissed at him. You look at Walsh wanted the team pissed at him. Montana's pissed at him all the time. So you look at the trophy cases, Chuck Noll. They all wanted him pissed at him. Andy Reid, I'm not real sure. I don't think he does. So is it that it's just changed so much that you got to be buddy-buddy with him? Or is it, I don't know. But Sean Payton still wins, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. It's a weird thing. But the thing he mentioned, and we've heard this numerous times, that stood out to me, Aikman. And I'm hit and miss on him. Sometimes he's okay. He's his biggest fan on his joke. He'll say some corny dad joke. that I wouldn't even say. And he's like, huh, huh, huh. He does it all the time. And he's the only one laughing, right?
Yeah.
He's just laughing at his own joke. I guess that's okay. But he said, and I repeat it, we've heard this numerous times. We've talked about it at the stadium. We've talked about it when we didn't have a show. And we've talked about it very little since we got the show. Zach Taylor doesn't get under center. He doesn't help his quarterback. He doesn't run screens. He doesn't play action. It's all on the quarterback. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do anything creative. And I'm like, thank you. And to me, that's a problem. Like, and I'm not saying we'll see what happens. Ben Johnson might get his ass annihilated this year. The Bears.
It was way worse 3 or 4 years ago than what it is now.
Yeah,
there's a good bit more motion. I think play action, especially them getting Fant. I think they'll do more of that. Tight end coming one way, crossing.
I hope so.
Phase.
But there's no
I think
scheming guys, right? So you see Ben Johnson.
Not really.
Did you see him the other night? And we'll see. It's preseason, but you saw we saw his when he got hired. Mm-hmm. And you just hear him yelling at people. This is fucking unacceptable to his team. That's what I wanted. I wanted that guy. Mm-hmm. And Zach may end up being a better coach. We'll find out. But I think he's going to win because he's up their ass, dude. He is on them like no tomorrow. And he's running creative plays, just thumping the Bills. This guy is a cutthroat, I'm going to kill you kind of guy. That's what I like. Mm-hmm. And we'll see what he does, but Zach's never going to be that.
No.
He's never going to be it. And I think it's going to hurt him. What are your thoughts on the blandness? And just like, I don't think Golden's bland. I'm sure he's ripping some tail. But there's we were practicing. I didn't see any yelling, screaming, and getting on anybody.
No, things have changed a good bit. I wish there was some more fire that way. I do. I think these guys would be receptive to it too.
Really?
I mean, they would. He doesn't have to be as egregious as what Jimmy was and Noel and those guys, but as far as his scheme goes. When you've got players, I guess, like you've got, and they can win one-on-ones as much as they do, then you can kind of just go, okay, just go win, and they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They kind of do.
But it would be better to help the offensive line if they wasn't just doing so many true set dropbacks all the time, right?
Absolutely.
There was more,
they know what they're doing.
Play actions, some more. I probably watched them do 5 draws in the last 5 years. Delays.
Screen, they're awful. They've been so bad at screen.
Yeah. So, things like that will slow defenses down. So you would hope he would do more of that to help because they don't know how to, pay offensive linemen because they don't want to pay them.
And
they don't know how to evaluate them. And they sure as hell can't teach them nothing.
Hopefully I'll change of Peters. We'll see.
Hopefully.
It's too early on him.
Yeah.
But I always go back to that game after the bye. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago when they went into San Francisco and just toasted them. They were under center. They were play action. Bosa and them didn't have the impact they had the year before. Remember the game we were at? He was everywhere, killing them. And they continually over the years have gotten beat by one guy. You start play action and running right at their ass, all of a sudden they're not as good. Right? You run at Myles Garrett, he's a different player. They never did. You play action. You do things that hold him up a little bit. It hurts the offensive line. That's part of the reason they get sacked so much, right? It's not always on them, but it's not going to change. I think Zach is what he is, and I don't think it's good. I don't think he's a very good offensive coordinator. I think he's got players that bail him out, and they start out so slow. But we'll find out this year. But the blandness, so everybody else sees it too when they review the tape. There's nothing creative on there.
No, there's not.
Creativity makes it easy. Look at golf, right? That offensive line gets a lot of praise, but they were willing to run the ball. A lot of those guys nobody wanted. Like Decker's been in the league for, 12, 13 years. And, I think it helps the offensive line. That's how you do it. So, yeah, kind of curious on that one. Around the league, a lot of stuff going on still. Cam Ward, I watched a good bit of him. His arm, man, it's better than what I thought. He's zipping the ball really well. He's got a lot. It'll be interesting to see what they do there with him. A couple other things. Flacco is the starter in Cleveland. So that's who we'll see in week 1. No surprise there. I think the rumor is they're going to keep all 4 quarterbacks. Almost, I wouldn't keep Pickett because they don't have anything in him, but I would Gabriel and Sanders. What are you out anyway?
Right.
Develop
Draft
them.
Picks.
Kind of dumb. And then Daniel Jones starting in
yeah.
Indy. A year ago today, it's Wednesday. We were in Cincy. Colts-Bengals practice. They had it late. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It was a year ago today. I saw it. So we saw, everything I said about Anthony Richardson came true right in front of our eyes. Horrible. even in practice.
He wasn't good.
7-on-7, he was awful. So, be interesting to see what they do with him. And then Micah Parsons' drama is still there. There's people now that think he is going to get traded. I don't know. I don't think he will either. Terry McLaurin from the Ohio State University at Washington wasn't there the other night, and their running back Robinson didn't play because they're trading him. So that's the tough part, man. When you get a little bit good, and they're only a little bit good because they only have one good year, people want to get paid, and that's when the things start to crumble. So in reality, Bengals have done pretty well with that. It hasn't crumbled like it has with a lot of teams when they get up there, but tough decisions there. We'll see what happens. Theoretically, what if Lou really wanted Trey, and he said, "You trade us Trey, we'll have to get some sign and trade. You trade us Trey and a 3rd-round pick or 2nd-round pick for Quentin Nelson. I'm all over it. They would. I'm doing it too. They wouldn't do it. No, they wouldn't do it. I would be all over it. I think we talked about this the other day. You and I did off the air, but supposedly they want draft picks and 1st-round pick and a player or whatever. Fuck the picks. You're trying to win a fucking championship, right? Go get guys that can play now. If you did trade him, that'll help this team, right? Yeah. Draft picks next year aren't going to help this team.
But if they're that good, why would the team trading him trade them?
Yeah. It's unless they got a bounty of a certain position or something.
Right.
But he's not getting traded. He'll be there. Confident in saying it. We've said it all along. Actually, I thought it would happen before this, but here we go. CFB, college football, week 0. Isn't that crazy? Week 0. From Ireland, over there in Ireland, where they're going to play football, it's going to be the Iowa State Cyclones, who might put up 30 points against Kansas State. That's a big-time matchup. Iowa State, Kansas State. I'm going to give you the odds. We got the Jayhawks of Kansas, who have a really fun quarterback, right? He runs around. He's pretty fun to watch. Dual threat, as they used to say. They're kind of all dual threat now. But they play, who did I say they play? Kansas plays Fresno, is it, I think? Fresno State. And then when you got Hawaii, the Rainbows. The interesting game there is Stanford goes to Hawaii, right? I'm so glad that David Shaw's not there anymore, because all you hear every year, David Shaw, what a great coach. Can't believe NFL teams aren't going to wear him. He's 4-7. Or he starts out, they used to go like 3-0, and everybody put in the top 10. Oh, what a coach. And then they flame out and win 3 games the rest of the year, if that. So it's going to be, got some good games to start out week 0. So you got Iowa State is getting 3 from Kansas State. Kansas State's ranked 17th. Iowa State 22nd. There's other games you're going to mention. Fresno State at Kansas. Kansas new home stadium. 12.5-point favorite, minus 480 on the money line. And then Stanford going to Hawaii with Frank Reich as coach, former NFL coach, back up to Jim Kelly. The miracle game, he was the quarterback. Andrew Luck is their GM or whatever the hell they call it now. So he's operating there. Reich is technically the, what do they call, an interim coach for whatever reason. But Hawaii's given 2. And then you got Boise State and South Florida. Boise State's given 6. South Florida's always a little tough early in the year. Boise State's got a pretty good quarterback. Kurt Warner's son plays for Fresno State in that game against Kansas. So here's my thoughts on that. If I'm going to bet, which if I was a betting man, which I am, I'm going to get the bet. I died off on baseball, stopped betting it. I was winning. This is kind of boring. Don't really get excited about it. Try to get excited about it, watching baseball and betting on it. Just doesn't do it for me. Football will. I like Kansas State minus the points. I like Kansas at home minus the point. I think they're going to rout them. I like the road dogs, Stanford, straight up, plus 110. Forget the 2 at Hawaii. Frank Reich, the Miracle Man. And I like Boise State minus 6 over South Florida. What are your thoughts on that, big man?
Yeah, I like Stanford. And then I like Kansas as well. Was it Fresno? Was that the other one?
Fresno's at Kansas. Yeah. You got Boise State, South Florida.
So I kind of like South Florida.
They're a tricky team.
Yeah, they're always, I won't say always tricky, but at times, especially early in the season, that they can be tricky until the
Alabama tough.
Yeah, till other teams figure them out. So yeah, I'm a betting man also, just not as bad.
Not as good, you mean? I think you mean not as good, my friend. The challenge of that game at Kansas, I think, Fresno State's always a pretty good program, and 12.5 points is a lot of points. Opening, you never know an opener, but that crowd is going to be bonkers. Kansas kind of underachieved, really good coach, quarterback, new stadium, revitalized or whatever. I think it's actually a new stadium. They haven't played a true home game in a couple of years, I think. That place is going to be a zoo.
It's gonna be a zoo.
I think it's going to be fun. The games, just so you know, I'm sure you're worried about that because it does matter. High noon, Iowa State, Kansas State. 6:30, so you got a Fresno State, Kansas. You only really get one day game. Stanford, Hawaii. Thankfully, it's not usually those 1 a.m. games that they usually have. So that's 7:30. And then the next day, you get the 28th at Boise State in South Florida. I shouldn't have mentioned the Boise State, South Florida. That's all the way into the next week.
No.
Then next week's when we get to the bigger games. We'll do an episode before that because we do want to talk about UC's game. And then, Ohio State that Saturday. So some good games there. Three good games for Saturday. I didn't see the cutoff there, so that should be fun. I like Iowa State, that Rocco, whatever his name is, quarterback. Love Matt Campbell, who's been rumored to the NFL for a long time. That's the thing, he actually overachieves looking at his recruiting classes, right? And he's been rumored to the NFL for probably 7-8 years, never went. Toledo boy, Ohio boy. That'll be an interesting game. Look forward to it. So, Hard Knocks. I haven't watched it all yet, so I'm not going to comment. There's some pretty good stuff what I did see of it, writing. I wonder how the team feels. Like, one guy's writing I don't know if you watched it, but he's writing it's kind of like, I don't know if it's a Formula One or NASCAR. I can't remember, a fast car, and he's out driving it. You would think that stipulation would be and then Ed Oliver and the running backs riding horses.
Yeah.
He's good at horses, so kind of cool. But I'd stay away from, I would want that in the contract for sure. But, so this new, I saw it coming out, so the Dallas Cowboys on Netflix, and I was telling you about this Jones quote, because I posted this, I bet I posted it 4 or 5 days ago, so it was 4 is out. So Florio and Sims were talking about it, so they had early access. So they had Jerry Jones said that he still loves the soap opera. He wants the Cowboys to be 24/7, 365 soap opera because it brings attention. Sims' argument was, hey, the NFL's always got attention. Do you need that anymore? Shouldn't you be winning? Which I agree wholeheartedly. And Jones has went, down the tank without Jimmy. But they told him he needed to meditate. He's having some health issues or something, and he said they said name 10 people that get your blood boiling. He's probably making up the story because that's how he is. And think about that person, get through it, meditate on it, forgive him, do whatever you need to do. So the doc comes back to him however long later. Said, how'd you do? How many names you get through? I'm still on the first one. It's Jimmy Johnson. So, they act like that's fixed, but like Jerry Jones gets plenty of heat and well deserved. But they played together at Arkansas. Like Jerry's not just he played college football. I think they won the national championship. Mm-hmm. And he was on that team. I think he was captain, right? Jimmy Johnson was really good. It's hard to see him it was a different game back then. They beat Texas way back then, so that was kind of funny. And then they did a piece where Jerry and Jimmy on there together, and they're trying to, the rumors are everywhere. I think it's before they won the second title, or maybe shortly thereafter. So they have him on there. Costas is interviewing him. They're talking to him. Not to ruin it for you guys, but this is pretty funny. Talking to him, what do you think about this? Oh, we're fine. They're just making it all up, and they pay him back after it's over to Ditka. And Ditka said, if I didn't know better, I'd think they're both lying. Or if I didn't know better, I'd think one of them's lying. And he said, I do know better. They're both lying. That's a good line. So, kind of funny. That the Jimmy Johnson was just maniacal. You see it there. Even Irvin, who loved him, Aikman's pissed at him, and he just pushed the right buttons at all time. And you look back at that era of football, it's hard to win them. Comparing eras is tough. And I'll say this, though. Those teams were way better than these Chiefs teams that won. It's not even close. And the difference is the salary cap. Because, they kept guys. Like, their defense was, Dallas' defense was loaded. And you had Emmett, Irvin, Harper, and Aikman, and Novacek. And there's no way these Chiefs teams would beat them. If they played that style of football,
right,
they'd just beat the hell out of them. Like what you saw. I mean, there's just so many guys. They almost won 3 in a row, lost at San Francisco in the championship game in a close one. You look at that Niners team with Montana, beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and then lose on a fumble in the NFC Championship game. They would have beat the Bills. It's almost 3 in a row, right? Yeah. Those teams were iconic, and they had to beat iconic teams to get there. The Eagles teams are good, Giants teams, so it's worth a watch. There's a lot of funny stuff in there. And Charles Haley, I knew he was an idiot, but whew, that dude's troubled, man. He was troubled and might still be, but he looks at the camera and he goes, the Niners, he went in and threw something at Seifert. That's why they traded him. He threw something at him. He was doing all kinds of shit, and, they had to – it got ugly, right? So they traded him for that reason. Why would you trade him to Dallas? It just makes shipping to the other – so he gets traded, and he comes in, and Jerry Jones warms up to him, of course, and he's in there, and they're talking. He goes, yeah, it was great. He goes, I love those guys. He goes, those boys were dumb. He's talking about Dallas. Those boys were dumb. but man, they could play. Charles just renegades. That's the thing about it. Most of them wouldn't even be in the league now, right? They supervise that stuff a little closer. So it's a good watch. Upcoming, we're going to do that college football segment betting. Week in, week out. It's all started now. We're on.
We're on.
It's on. There's going to be football every week. There's going to be football next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. College games, UC will battle the Cornhuskers of Nebraska, led by Matt Rule. That should be a good game. UC's got a couple good players.
Yeah.
NFL players. So it's going to be a tough one, though, playing out in the Midwest there in Arrowhead, I believe. So we'll talk about that. Ohio State, Texas, we'll hit on that, which will be a big one. Julian saying is the starter named. We figured it would be. Tons of college games. That'll be the weekend between before you get to the NFL game. But then we'll have roster updates. We'll know who's what. I would assume, I think this time next week the Trey drama is solved. Close to it, right? Going into that off weekend, I think that'll all be solved. So we're getting there, folks. We're actually there, right? Get this last preseason game out of the way.
Yeah.
Preseason games this weekend are not going to be much to watch, the last one, but
No.
that extra week kind of adds things up. It'll be the Bengals at the Browns the following week, and we will hit it hard. You got anything you want to add, Stevie boy?
Yeah, I want to go over our past weekend with Shuffle. Had a really long but good weekend. I played down Cincy all weekend long, put in a lot of hours, loading, unloading, setting up, but
It's a lot of work.
everything went well. Appreciate everybody coming out for watching us. Had a good time. Had 3 good shows, and
What you got coming up?
we have a benefit coming up, and then a couple of shows we play. I don't know. There's a couple of shows we play. I'd have to look at my calendar. I don't do scheduling, and in all the bands before, I did all the scheduling, so it's really nice just to look like the week before. Where do I need to be?
I get it. It's a little stress relief. School's back in session here. Adds an element of stress, the constant running to practices.
And with that being said, I want to congratulate my son on starting at Moorhead State.
Yeah, that's great. Big time.
He is in the marching band, pep band, and he is going to try to do music education. So
Good for him.
I will be at Game 1 at Moorhead State watching my son do the halftime show. It's going to be pretty cool.
I do want to mention something that was on Hard Knocks. If you're smart, you won't comment on this. I want to see how smart you really are. I know, it's not very. I want to see if you'll take this bait. So the backup quarterbacks, Mike White and Buchla, whatever his name, I can't think of his name. They're talking, he said, they're dogging rookies like hell. Why are rookies so dumb in offensive line? Yeah, they're all dumb. He goes, they're not only dumb, they're just stupid too. That's what makes them the rookie comes out, they change it up a little bit. This one, I saw him, he said, yeah. He goes, well, I hope I'm not, but my wife says so. He goes, so your wife knows everything too? The other guy goes, yeah. He goes, my wife knows everything. How do they all know everything? They're right. I mean, they know it's on camera, right? They're going to have some answering to it. It's pretty funny. Yeah. You have no comment, right?
No. They're all brilliant.
There you go. You're learning. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up, Stevie boy?
No, man. Weather, like you brought it up before we started, almost like a fall day.
Yeah, it is.
Still a little sticky. It's not fall, of course, but got that feel to it. So
you know what the bummer of that is, though? Don't do it, but if you look ahead to when the sun rises and sun sets,
I know.
I hate that.
I already feel it, man.
Yeah, and you can feel it at night. It's 8:30 now or close to it.
Yeah.
8:40 maybe, and then you lose in about 10. Like in the next 2 weeks, you lose 15 to 20 on the back end, and same on the front end. That's hard.
Yeah.
That part's hard.
Yeah, it sucks.
But we'll have football.
We will.
That changes things.
It does change things.
It's happy,
So, with all that being said, all slow traffic, stay to the right. Peace out.